Hello. So today we're talking all about language habits, the importance of habits, forming habits, and keeping habits, breaking habits, all of those habit things. And we're also passing through the garden space here that is all of the nursery, the macadamia trees, sweet cones, pepper plant, avocado tree, all of those. And the key thing here with habits that I'd like to start with here is the blog post for this video is up on site, on my site, and you can find all of the details about this type of habit, that type of habit, different day lengths of habits, and all of that. This is not going to be that right now. What this is going to be is me sharing that I broke my language learning habits, again, completely, and that I'm rebuilding a new habit of some kind that is a bit of a surprise, and with the language as well. Some of you may know that I was using Duolingo pretty regularly for my Mandarin, and let's go ahead and have a seat here next to these succulents, and that stopped. I got to about 115 or 50, I don't even remember, over 100 days, and then it stopped. There were some other changes going on in my life, and it just stopped. It no longer felt aligned to do, and I chose not to force myself to do it. So this is a piece that I think is important, because when we create these habits, sometimes it can feel like, oh, I have to do this thing because I said I'm going to do it, and I started doing it, and I'm committed to doing it, and it's like this sort of sunken cost feeling for doing this practice, whatever it is. And you have a choice when you get to that point to either force yourself to do it, which I've done many times and has been successful. I've been successful with that many times, but this time I chose to let it fall away and trusted that it would come back at some point when it was ready, and it's starting to. It hasn't fully taken form yet, but it's starting to. And the habit there, so with the day lengths, I did practice for, it was over 100 days, and I did see a significant improvement with my Mandarin, and I did a little bit of other practice aside from that, but mostly just that Duolingo, and it was very useful. However, I'm still very, very low in my Mandarin skills because I didn't do it a ton each day, just like a few minutes, and it was only 100 days. But what that did do was start a shift in my mind to where I noticed that my recall was much faster for the words that I knew, and that I recognized sentences, sounds more easily, more quickly, beginning to develop that low level of fluency. And so it was very useful for that. Now this shift of dropping Mandarin, I'm not sure when or if that will come back. So taking a break from that and shifting onto something else, a secret project, if you will. And for habits, I currently have no language habits, and I think that's part of the reason it took so long to make this video, is because I felt like I I didn't have the habits. Now I'm making a video about habits right after I broke the habits. It's a funny thing. I wrote the blog and it said, this is like, oh yeah, habits, while I was doing everything. And then at some point before I made this video, I broke all of my habits. So funny how that works out. But as we begin to shift back in here, I'll update you guys more on my project that I'm working on with my other language as I begin working on it more. And with habits, what I want to share with you and motivate you to do is to look at those two options when you have your habits. So look over, the different types of habits. Like I have it's like a 40-day habit, for this amount of time, and you start forming that habit, you do however many days, and whatever technique you choose, they're all useful in their own way. But look at these two pieces right here, which are the one piece, why are you doing this? Sometimes you form a habit and then it turns out that that is no longer in alignment with your goals, which I believe is what happened to me. And two, sometimes you form a habit and you have to find a way to force yourself to continue with that. Sometimes you are, like when I was learning Spanish and found that I wasn't studying as much as I needed to, I wasn't making the progress I wanted to, and so I enrolled in classes, tutoring, I did all of the things because I had that goal, I wasn't meeting it, and I chose to push toward that goal. Those are those two big options there, and coming from both sides can advise you that both of them work. It is a matter of your goals, really, learning the language, resources available, and how quickly you need to learn, why you need to learn. So goals and resources mainly, and that I think is the most important thing with forming language habits, is why you're doing it, how you're doing it, all of that. And then when you get to actually forming that habit and doing it, well, that is another piece all in and of itself. Again, check out that blog post. That goes way more into all of these habit pieces so that you can see specific ways to start your habit formation. And this is just an update on my language learning habits so that you can have that example and an update on our spring, almost summer garden over here. As this little hibiscus are starting to bloom, and that's it, I think, for this time. So thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them down below, and I will see you guys back here next time. Bye.